Hello and welcome back everybody to the Foodbuild factory, where today we're going to take a look at the Red Viper. This is the communist menace you can see on screen right now, and I'd say let's get right into it. So, as always, I'm going to show you some gameplay, and in the latter half of the video we're going to take a deeper look into the perks and our equipment. So, as you can see here, we're primarily using a sniper rifle to our advantage. And for those of you who struggle with stealth sniping lately, this build here is a great choice. It should be relatively simple to center your build around it, because it's pretty generic. The thing I've noticed is that the only thing a stealth sniper nowadays needs, if you don't want to invest into a really hard-hitting Gauss rifle or something, is you need a solid backup. So this build is centered all around the sniper rifle and the 10mm pistol as a guerrilla build, so you do have some backup in the terms of DPS, which is the 10mm pistol. So you gotta learn a bit with this character, so there's a learning curve to it where you slowly find out which enemies you can take down in one shot and which you can't. So for example, here, as you can see, all the ghouls, if you're hitting them in the head, they're reliably going down in a single shot. So in general, what you're going to need the 10mm pistol for is enemies like super mutants and scorch beasts, sheep squatch and the like. So I am currently using junkies weapons, but this build works very well with other equipment too. So if you have, let's say, a instigating sniper rifle or an anti-armor one, you won't need junkies at all. And for 10mm pistols there's good options too. Wow, bloody faster fire rate. Now imagine for a second that this wouldn't have been a fat man, but well, anyways, off topic. So I do have a furious faster fire rate 10mm pistol, which I use starting the character off. The thing is, I wanted to do this sniper character and didn't really have a good second option for snipers instead of this junkies one. So that's why I am currently built as a junkie. But for those of you who don't know already, the only difference between a junkies character and a non-junkies one is that you're having addictions. So if anything, your build without junkies would perform a little better, probably, because the damage isn't all that big of a selling point here. So as you saw here, I was kind of struggling to take down these Mirelurks with my hunting rifle, so now it's time to use the 10mm backup. As you can see here, works very well, works like a charm. So the only real hindrance you see with this build will be the biggest targets, like especially sheep squatches, and I did have a fight with a Mirelurk queen. Those will take some time, so same goes for Scorch Beast, but everything else you can really take down reliably, and you have a surprisingly small investment into damage perks. So even though we're going to take about the perks later, I can already tell you now that we only use 3 perk points for each guerrilla and the sniper. So alright, I needed to take a critical here to down the mole red, but not a problem. So this is something I've seen a lot with this patch, that enemies seem to just have a sliver of health left, regardless of their level or your damage. So I did a lot of testing with it, and I still have no real conclusion on what causes this, because it's very odd. So by the way, the lighting here is terrible. Alright, get to the belly. using our sneak attacks. And as you can see here, we're not taking the enemy down in one magazine, but still fairly quickly. Not too big of a problem. I mean, we need to stay hidden, but that's about it. Anyways, back to the topic. I tried to find workarounds, like for example, I've seen the same with the bow. And what I did when testing was that I used no perks at all, fought some enemies with an instigating bow, and I found out that level 75 super mutants were in this spot where they seemed like they should go down in one headshot from stealth, but they just didn't. They always left with that sliver of health. So I thought, alright, let's just increase my damage with perk points, and no matter how much I increased that, it seemed to always be the same end result. So that was kind of interesting. I feel like there's some artificial way to keep you from one-shotting certain enemies, but on the other hand, with different weapons with higher base damage like the ghost rifle, it's still possible. So I'm still not completely sure what causes this, but I'm going to look deeper into it. Well, anyways, that doesn't have to do with our character here. As you see, our sniper isn't the one-shot monstrosity it once was. So a junky's Vets Hitchan sniper rifle would pre-patch probably have taken down as good as everything in one shot. Up to, I'm pretty sure you could have managed to one-shot Yao Guai, but that's well, those times are over. But we won't suffer. For some reason, I do have very bad luck with my wet shots today. Now they're not registering, so yeah. All right. Time for the 10 mil. So as you see here, the automatic 10mm pistol performs way better than our sniper rifle in a lot of occasions. So it's fair to assume that you could do better if you're just investing all into guerrilla. The thing is, you're burning through quite a lot of 10mm rounds. So I feel like people who have enough investment so that they, or enough resources so that they can afford playing or shooting through tens of thousands of rounds aren't exactly my target group here. So that's why I decided to make this hybrid build, and also because there's still a lot of occasions where you can use the sniper rifle, especially when you're taking down ghouls and such. It feels very satisfying, I don't wanna lie. The thing is, you just need to take some backup with you. Another thing you could do is just take a commander rifle with you. Funnily enough, even a completely unspec commander rifle would outperform your sniper rifle in a heartbeat. Like, there's just no, I don't know how to say it, there's just no competition there, you know? So yeah, I was already pretty sure that those guys won't go down in one shot, but I mean, it's not tragic to use 2 shots for a lot of enemies, especially in occasions like this here where enemies are fairly widespread. You can take your time, it's not that hard. Mainly what you want to do, you want to have a weapon that one-shots ghouls, simply because they could swarm you otherwise. But as you can see here, due to our high stealth, we're doing very well. It's not a problem at all. Maybe let's try to get a hit in its combat inhibitor. So that should make it fight with the other robots around. Yeah, that's the fun thing about stealth. We can help out our Colonel Gutsy here. Definitely time for the 10 mil. Well, we're staggering the Assaultron quite well here. Or it's just bugged. I think it's bugged. Well, anyways, easy pickings. As you can see here, we're burning through some ammo, but nothing too harsh. Especially if we take into consideration that we do use our sniper rifle as well. So that's what I meant with maining the 10 mil for this build. Well, anyways, the build has quite some room for convenience perks. We're talking about things like weight reduction perks and such. So you're really the only special points that we really need are in agility and in perception. So everything else, we're not really relying on VETS crits all that much, so luck is not all that important. Same goes for endurance. We simply don't need a lot of endurance as we're always in stealth. And by the way, while we're at the topic of stealth, I wanted to say something. I see a lot of confusion that people say, like, if stealth builds are obsolete now with daily ops and a lot of the new content starting to get focused more and more on tanking enemies and stealth not being a real option. Well, Bethesda already told us that they are aware of this, and it was definitely not a failure or something, a mistake. It was a choice they made. But they already said that future daily operations won't be all the same, so they will make basically a hero of the day character kind of thing. So this time around we're seeing daily ops that are really suited for tanks, but there will be times where, let's say, stealth characters are worth it, or sniper characters, simply because there will be a lot of ranged involved and something like this. So you can feel safe to stick with your stealth build. Don't worry about it. Yes, it's hard at the moment and it's a bit of a bummer in my opinion, but there's workarounds. If you want to do the daily ops, grab yourself a magic shotgun and power armor and just tank anything. So that's the thing, you're not needing those stealth attacks simply because you don't need to do damage at all in this daily ops. You just need to stay alive. So the only thing you have to take down is the last enemy, and if you're doing it in a group, trust me, you pretty much always have the backup to help you out. Well, anyways, this was the build. We're now going to take a look at our equipment. So here we have it. That's our Junkies 10mm pistol, Junkies VETS crit with faster reload, and our Junkies VETS hit chance hunting rifle. So as I said earlier, get yourself an anti-armor or an instigating hunting rifle and combine that with a furious 10mm pistol and you have very similar results, if not better ones. Or even an anti-armor 10mm pistol, than this character here, without needing to suffer the addictions. So onto the armor, 1-star chameleon, 3 pieces of it. Then we do have the Chinese stealth helmet, simply for the looks. It doesn't do a lot. It prevents from airborne disease, but I'm not sure if that even works. So we have 1 mutant chest piece, mutant sentinel. Ideally should have been another chameleon piece, but who gives a shit. And here's a vanguard piece that's currently broken. So really the only thing we're utilizing in our build are these 3 chameleon pieces, so we could take off the other ones and do pretty much the same. They're modded with the new Armor Ace unlockable, the Red Viper skin. So there's where the idea for the character comes. We are obviously a communist spy, so it should be obvious that you can just simply use a Chinese stealth armor and perform better. I just wanted to show off the new armor and wanted to make a character around it, but feel free to just use a stealth suit, it works perfectly fine. Yes, onto our effects. The addictions we suffer from currently are Buff Out, Fury, Medics, Mentats and Psycho. So as you can see here, we only take one hit to agility from Medics, which affects our stealth, but for the rest here, the only other thing that really damages us in a way is Perception -1 from Fury, but it's not that big of a deal, and we have mutations to offset those both. A lot of strength is missed and endurance, but we can live with that. And the damage resistance, well, first and foremost, -10 damage resistance or -20 doesn't do a whole lot, and especially if you're built for not getting hit anyways. So that's our addictions. And here we see our mutations. We have Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Marsupial, Speed Demon, and Unstable Isotope is the leftover. Shouldn't be there. It doesn't seem to proc too, so I think this is a visual glitch. I never seen it proc even when I was hit, so yeah, that's that. Well, Bird Bones, Eagle Eyes, Marsupial, and Speed Demon should be on the character. You could argue that Adrenal Reaction is worth it, but we don't utilize it, and being in stealth, we pretty much always are at full health. So we're mainly interested in boosting our agility and our perception. So onto the build itself. Here you can see it. I removed all the legendary perks, by the way. Here you can see that. So they don't take into account. Follow through, for example, makes our 10mm pistol way more powerful, so I would highly advise you to take at least rank 1 if you have it. But anyways, onto strength, traveling pharmacy and bandolier. As always with these convenience perks, feel free to pick whatever you like. It's up to you really. Just a bit of basic strength so we can equip some weight perks. Perception, here we do have some mandatory picks. We do have Painkiller rank 3, Concentrated Fire, Expert Rifleman, Master Rifleman and Rifleman. So you might be confused if I have trouble one-shotting enemies, why I'm not going all in and use more damage perks. Well, I tried it and it just didn't work out all that well. So the enemies I did have problems with one-shotting, such as high-level super mutants, I can still one-shot. So if you can remember from like 5 minutes ago or something, I was fighting these cultists and I was just a slight bit off of one-shotting them. Well, if I were to equip all these Rifleman perks at rank 3, the result would pretty much be the same. I still would need a follow-up shot for some reason. So that's that. I felt like it's fun to work with the backup. So you saw, especially ghouls and such, you can still use your sniper rifle effectively. And one thing should be said: the marksman sniper rifle we're using in our video is one of the weakest rifleman weapons there is. Like, not weak in a sense of base damage, but it has a slow fire rate, low magazine size. It's not that hard hitting like you have it with a Gauss rifle, for example, which has the same flaws but counters this by one-shotting things. So get yourself a lever rifle or even a semi-automatic handmade and you perform way better. I just wanted to show off this this kind of weapon, like the one shot and then rechambering kind of weapon. I'm not sure how it's called. Anyways, onto endurance, adamantium skeleton, fireproof rank 2 and good doggy. So you don't need adamantium skeleton here, nor do you need fireproof if you have a dense chest piece. Good doggy I picked for convenience, so yet again, feel free to do whatever you like here. Lone Wanderer rank 4. We don't have any powered armor pieces, so we don't have a boost to our agility refresh. So our action point refresh, so Lone Wanderer and Action Boy will mostly be there to boost our action points. So the extra damage resistance from Lone Wanderer isn't all that interesting, while it's fine, but that's not what we're using it for. We're mainly utilizing the AP region. Onto intelligence, we're at a fairly decent 10, so we do have Gunsmith rank 5. The 10 mil can break relatively fast if you're using it as an automatic weapon. Batteries included and farm assist are fillers, so I wanted to have rank intelligence at 10, but if you get yourself hands on, let's say, an explosive weapon, you can easily put in rank 5 of Demolitions Expert. Feel free to pick what you like here. I needed batteries included simply because I have a lot of energy ammo on me, but that's about it. Farm assist is nice. I would have liked first aid more, but I only have first aid rank 3 and couldn't fit it in here. So anyways, intelligence pretty much completely up to you. There's nothing mandatory for this build here. And here's where things get interesting. We do have 15 agility, and all of these are important. So we do have covered operative. This is pretty much our main damage dealer at the moment. So 2.5 times sneak attack damage is really good for us. So at the moment it's a bit bugged, so sneak attacks aren't really consistent, but if it works, it works like a charm. So Guerrilla, as I said earlier, similar to Rifleman, we only have 1 point of perk investment here for an addition of overall 30 plus damage, which is, by the way, plus 32% of the base damage of our weapon. So completely unmodded, in a completely unmodded state. That's why numbers don't add up for you. This came with the additive change. So if a perk card gives you 10% extra damage with your weapon, it really means 10% of the base damage of your weapon with a standard receiver and no mods equipped. So that's why it doesn't benefit you that much as it did before. Born Survivor, this is the only perk point here we don't necessarily need, but we need rank 3 of Sneak, Escape Artist, Gunfu rank 1 is nice to have, and Action Boy. So as I said here, Born Survivor, you can pick something else, but if we're talking about, yeah, we do have Escape Artist. If we're talking about 1 rank perk cards, there's not a lot of options you could have here. So onto luck, Bloody Mass, Better Criticals, Starch Jeans, and 4-Leaf Clover. So luck is at a fairly odd 7, so you don't see things maxed out here. That's because I'm planning to use this character with a lot of legendary perks and trying to get luck very high through legendary perks. So that's why I see these odd numbers here, but Bloody Mass and Starch Jeans are pretty much mandatory here. Better Criticals and 4-Leaf Clover, well, they won't change the world for us, but they're nice to have. So a little bit of more extra crits and extra crit damage on top of our Eagle Eyes mutation, and the legendary effect from our 10mm pistol helps us out here. So what you could definitely do is just make it luck 5. Don't use Better Criticals and 4-Leaf Clover, and put those points into Perception to boost your Rifleman perks a little. It still definitely helps, so don't worry about that. But yeah, that's the build so far. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I didn't forget anything. I have the feeling I did, but well, can't help it at the moment. So taking a last look at our lovely lady here. Getting a bit of a better view. And well, I say I'm going to end the video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you still enjoy your stealth rifleman. And till next time, guys.